Welcome to DreamTrophy. DreamTrophy, a legacy you can hold. The largest visual archive of stamps, coins, and currencies in world history. You will not miss a single stamp, coin, or currency from any issuing authority on Earth. We are currently developing a comprehensive visual archive of over 10,000 meticulously curated videos documenting the full breadth of stamp, coin, and currency issuance from every nation on Earth. This global project is unlike anything ever created, and your support makes it possible. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click the bell icon to stay updated as we release new videos from the world's most complete monetary archive. With over 53 years of global philatelic and numismatic experience, DreamTrophy is more than a collection. It's a lifelong mission. This archive is the result of decades spent traveling across continents, appraising rare artifacts, and preserving the most fragile and powerful tokens of human civilization, our monetary legacy. Through stamps, coins, and currency notes, we don't just document value. We uncover the hidden stories of nations, empires, revolutions, and identities. This channel is the result of that journey. What you'll find on DreamTrophy. Each video goes beyond showing. It teaches, documents, and preserves. You'll see 8K Ultra HD close-ups of rare and historical items, professional appraisal insights including value, rarity, and condition, contextual history rooted in decades of academic research and hands-on collecting, hard-to-find issues including overprints, watermark errors, misprints, and transitional fiscal postal hybrids, rare authorities, many of which are no longer listed in modern catalogs or databases, cross-cultural storytelling linking monetary items to their political, social, and economic eras. Every video is both a visual experience and a learning tool, blending collector-grade detail with historian-level storytelling. Why this archive matters. Most stamp and coin videos online show only a surface-level glimpse, a casual collector's view. DreamTrophy is different. This is a museum-grade 8K Ultra High-Definition archive, created by a seasoned professional who has personally handled, appraised, and cataloged hundreds of thousands of monetary artifacts across 298 countries and over 11,000 territories, many of which no longer exist today. For the first time ever, many of these items, long lost to catalog history or destroyed through time, are being brought back into the public eye. Through crystal-clear visuals, detailed analysis, and expert insight. If you enjoyed content like this and would like to support our work, consider making a donation via the link in the description. Every contribution truly helps us grow and create more videos for you. To stay up to date with new content, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click the bell icon to get notified as soon as we upload. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Etsy for even more stamp content. It is the complete story of humanity told in metal, how coins fueled economies, built empires, advanced trade across continents, and carried the symbols of nations through wars, revolutions, and renaissances. Every region reveals a distinct legacy of artistry, technology, and cultural identity, forged in gold, silver, copper, and bronze, preserved forever in this 8K Ultra HD archive of world coins. DreamTrophy Worldwide Coin Archive, 11 regions of numismatic history. DreamTrophy, we are actively documenting the complete worldwide history of coins and stamps, cataloging every issuing authority on Earth. Soon, this same professional-grade documentation will expand to include banknotes, currencies, and paper money from all 298 countries, creating the most comprehensive philatelic and numismatic archive ever assembled. For coins, we've divided the entire world into 11 global regions, each one containing dozens, sometimes hundreds, of issuing authorities, colonies, protectorates, and lost nations. These regions capture the entire scope of human history through money. Ancient kingdoms and empires that struck the earliest coins, colonial and imperial powers that spread their currencies across continents, modern nations and territories with national identities, bullion programs, and commemoratives. By mapping the 2,000-plus year history of world coinage into these 11 regions, the DreamTrophy Archive builds the world's most complete visual catalog of coins and numismatic history. covering every authority from ancient dynasties and colonial mints to independent states and international territories. DreamTrophy Worldwide Coin Archive Introduction. Welcome to the DreamTrophy Worldwide Coin Archive, the most complete and structured framework ever designed for organizing the history of coins. This archive divides the entire world into 11 regions, and within each region coins are presented in a clear, logical sequence: ancient and early, colonial and empire, and modern nations and territories. This framework is not only a reference for advanced collectors, but also an educational roadmap for beginners who want to understand how coins evolved, why they matter, and how they connect to the history of civilization. What ancient and early means. The ancient and early layer covers the very beginning of coinage and trade currencies. These include pre-Columbian trade tokens, wampum belts, and primitive exchange systems. Early Greek, Roman, Persian, and Indian coinage. Dynastic issues from China, Japan, and Korea such as spade coins, knife money, and koban. Unusual forms of currency like Yap stone money in the Pacific or Viking trade silver in Greenland. These are the coins and objects that tell us where money began. They are historic, rare, and often considered works of art as much as they are economic tools. What colonial and empire means. Colonial and empire layer reflects the age of expansion, conquest, and cultural exchange. Here you'll find Spanish cobs and milled reels from the Americas, Ottoman and Islamic coinage across Africa and the Middle East, Portuguese and Dutch colonial issues in South America, Africa, and Asia, the British and French colonial coins in Oceania, the Caribbean, and beyond. These coins represent global empires and their economic influence. They circulated across oceans, carried gold and silver from one continent to another, and shaped the trade routes of the world. For collectors, they are a direct link to the story of exploration, colonization, and empire building. What modern nations and territories means. The modern nations and territories layer brings us into the era of independence, nationalism, and modern minting technology. This includes national coinage systems that began after independence or unification, a modern commemorative celebrating history, culture, and achievements, bullion programs such as the American Eagle, Canadian Maple Leaf, Mexican Libertad, Australian Kangaroo, and Chinese Panda, a regional and international coinage like the Euro or the CFA franc in Africa. Modern issues show the identity and pride of nations, while also providing collectors with endless variety, from circulating coins to limited edition proof sets and investment bullion. Why this framework matters. By dividing coins into these 3 historical layers across 11 regions, the DreamTrophy framework provides both clarity and depth. For beginners, it's like a guided map, from ancient tokens, colonial silver, and gold modern mint issues. You see the big picture of world coinage. For advanced collectors, it highlights rare series, historic transitions, and hidden subcategories like error coins, commemoratives, and bullion programs. For researchers and educators, it provides a visual tree map of how money evolved globally, connecting economics, culture, and history. The 11 regions of the DreamTrophy Archive. This archive covers the entire globe, organized into the following regions. 1. North America, 2. South America, 3. Europe, 4. Africa, 5. Middle East, 6. Central Asia, 7. South Asia, 8. East Asia, 9. Southeast Asia, 10. Oceania and Pacific, 11. Polar and Territories. DreamTrophy Coin Master Framework, 11 regions. 1. North America, 1 of 11. Discover the full history of North American coinage, from pre-Columbian trade tokens and Viking wampum to Spanish colonial reels and modern U.S., Canadian, and Mexican bullion. This section highlights ancient and early, pre-Columbian tokens, wampum, Viking Greenland, rare historic coins. Colonial and empire, Spanish colonial cobs and reels, Mexico City Mint, French and British colonial coins. The modern nations, United States, 33 categories from 1792 present, Canada, Dominion, Provincial, RCM bullion, Mexico, Peso reforms, Libertads, Caribbean nations: Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Dominican Republic, and territories: Puerto Rico, Bermuda, Bahamas, Cayman, Greenland. Complete journey through rare U.S. coins, Canadian maple leafs, Mexican libertades, and historic Caribbean coinage. 2. South America, 2 of 11. Explore the rich numismatic legacy of South America, where ancient civilizations and colonial powers shaped modern coinage. Ancient and early Incan gold and silver trade tokens, pre-Columbian artifacts. Colonial and Empire: Spanish colonial cobs, milled reals, Portuguese Brazil gold. Modern nations: Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Uruguay, Paraguay, Guyana, Suriname. From Incan treasure to Spanish reals and modern bullion, this region showcases South America's role in global coin history. 3. Europe, 3 of 11. Europe is the heart of global numismatics, with thousands of years of coinage history. Ancient and early Celtic tribes, Roman provincial coins. Colonial and Empire: Holy Roman Empire thalers, Habsburg Austria, Napoleonic France. Modern nations: France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Monaco, Andorra, Liechtenstein. Subcategories: pre-Euro coinage, Euro issues, commemoratives, bullion. Europe remains a treasure trove for collectors, from ancient Roman bronze coins to modern Euro commemoratives. For Africa, 4 of 11. Africa's coins reflect ancient civilizations, colonial empires, and modern independence movements. Ancient and early Pharaonic Egypt, Ptolemaic dynasty, Carthage, Numidia, Aksumite, and Kushite kingdoms. Colonial and Empire: Ottoman, French protectorates, British West Africa, Belgian Congo. Modern nations: Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana. Subcategories: CFA franc union, East African shilling, bullion issues. A mix of ancient gold derricks, colonial copper, and South African krugerrands makes African numismatics unique. 5. Middle East, 5 of 11. The birthplace of coinage and home to some of the world's earliest gold and silver coins. Ancient and early Mesopotamian shekels, Persian derricks and drams, Nabatean coins. Colonial and Empire: Islamic caliphates, Ottoman Empire issues. Modern nations: Iran, Turkey, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Kuwait. Subcategories: Islamic dynasties, 20th century states, modern bullion. From Persian derricks to Ottoman silver and modern bullion dinars, the Middle East bridges ancient to modern numismatics. 6. Central Asia, 6 of 11. Crossroads of empires and the Silk Road trade hub. Ancient and early Bactrian, Sogdian, Kushan coins. Colonial and Empire: Persian dynasties, Mongol Khanates, Russian Empire. Modern nations: Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan. Subcategories: Soviet-era issues, post-Soviet commemoratives. Collectors will find rare Silk Road coins, Soviet rubles, and modern bullion issues. 7. South Asia, 7 of 11. Home to some of the world's earliest coins and rich dynastic history. Ancient and early punch-marked Indian coins, Mauryan, Gupta, Kushan. Colonial and Empire: Mughal Empire rupees, British India coins, princely states. Modern nations: India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives. From ancient punch-marked silver to modern Indian rupees and bullion commemoratives, South Asia is essential for collectors. 8. East Asia, 8 of 11. One of the world's most influential numismatic regions. Ancient and early Chinese knife and spade coins, Japanese koban, Korean dynastic issues. Colonial and Empire: Mongol Yuan dynasty, Qing dynasty, colonial Taiwan and Hong Kong. Modern nations: China, Imperial PRC Taiwan, Japan, Yen proof sets, Korea, North and South, Mongolia, Hong Kong, Macau. From ancient Chinese cash coins to Japanese yen commemoratives and modern bullion pandas, East Asia remains a collector favorite. 9. Southeast Asia, 9 of 11. A region of diverse kingdoms and colonial histories. Ancient and early Khmer, Funan, pagan kingdoms. Colonial and Empire, French Indochina, Dutch East Indies, British Strait settlements. Modern nations, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Philippines, Timor-Leste. Southeast Asia blends ancient trade coins, colonial silver dollars, and modern commemorative sets. 10 Oceania and Pacific 10 of 11. Unique coinage traditions from Yap stone money to modern bullion. Ancient and early, Yap stone money island trade tokens. Colonial and Empire, British Australia, French Pacific, German New Guinea. Modern nations. Australia, sovereigns, decimal coins, Perth mint bullion, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, Fiji, PNG, Solomon Islands, Samoa, Tonga, Vanuatu, Palau, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Micronesia, Nauru, French and U.S. Territories. Oceania's coins range from giant stone money to rare Perth mint gold and silver. 11 Polar and Territories 11 of 11. Specialized issues from the world's remote regions. Ancient and early, Viking exploration tokens, Arctic trade issues. Colonial and Empire, British, French, Norwegian polar claims. Modern territories, Greenland, Falkland Islands, South Georgia, South Sandwich, British Antarctic Territory, French Southern and Antarctic lands, U.S. Pacific territories. Rare and unusual territorial coinage that reflects exploration, isolation, and sovereignty claims. DreamTrophy, Polar and Territories, Part 11 of 11, from the DreamTrophy Worldwide Coin Archive. Welcome to DreamTrophy and welcome to the ends of the Earth, the polar regions and the world's territories, lands of ice, isolation, and endurance. Here, the sun circles the horizon without setting. Here, metal gleams against endless white. From the Arctic Circle to the Antarctic Plateau, and from overseas territories to remote dependencies, coins tell the story of exploration, resilience, and mankind's reach beyond borders. Every crest, every emblem, every strike of silver or nickel carries the echo of courage, of ships frozen in sea ice and scientists beneath auroras. This is the final frontier of numismatics, where history is etched not on land but on the edge of the world. The DreamTrophy Worldwide Coin Archive, where the spirit of discovery shines through time. From the frozen fjords of Greenland to the windswept Ross Sea, from Svalbard and Nunavut to the British and French Southern Territories, coins mark humanity's quest to explore, settle, and preserve the most remote corners of the planet. In this DreamTrophy Master Framework Part 11 of 11, we uncover how polar and territorial coinage evolved across 4 extraordinary eras: the exploration and colonial layer, the scientific and sovereign layer, the modern commemorative layer, and the environmental and heritage era that defines today's global minting vision. Each coin is a story of endurance, a testament to the courage to mint in places where few dare to live. Exploration and colonial layer. The first monetary imprints of the polar world were born from exploration. In the 17th to 19th centuries, European empires financed voyages into the Arctic and Antarctic. Britain, France, Russia, Norway, and later the United States all sought to chart the unknown and claim territory in the name of science and empire. Coins from Greenland, Iceland, Svalbard, and Newfoundland bear the influence of Denmark, Norway, and Britain. Silver riksdaler, ore, and kroner linked these frozen lands to European trade networks. Russian imperial kopecks circulated in Arctic outposts and Siberian stations, while Norwegian tokens and Canadian colonial cents reached whaling and fur trade settlements. Collectors treasure this layer for its rarity. Coins that endured salt air, snow, and sea voyages, their edges marked by exploration and survival. Scientific and sovereign layer. By the 20th century, the age of science replaced the age of empire. Nations began minting coins not for conquest, but for cooperation, to commemorate research, peace, and human endurance. Antarctic territories, administered by nations such as Great Britain, France, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, and Chile, issued medals and commemorative coins honoring explorers like Shackleton, Amundsen, and Scott. The British Antarctic Territory, for instance, began issuing official currency in the 1970s. Copper-nickel crowns and sterling proofs featuring penguins, explorers, and icebreakers. In the north, Greenland's commemoratives under Danish authority celebrated Arctic wildlife and cultural endurance, while Canadian Polar Series highlighted the Arctic Circle, the Inukshuk, and the Northern Lights. These coins stand at the intersection of geography and humanity, symbols of scientific collaboration and the will to understand the planet's extremes. Collectors of this layer pursue low-mintage commemoratives struck in sterling silver, proof sets depicting polar fauna, and expedition medals from research bases. Rare items minted at the intersection of history and horizon. Modern commemorative layer. As global mints expanded their artistry, the Polar and Territorial series became icons of modern numismatic design. Australia's Antarctic Territory and New Zealand's Ross Dependency released proof coins with breathtaking polar imagery. Seals, whales, icebergs, and auroras rendered in sculpted relief. France's Terrace Australes et Antarctiques Françaises (TAAF) produced exquisite silver and gold commemoratives, with map motifs and wildlife of the Kerguelen, Crozet, and Adelie Islands. The British Overseas Territories, from Falkland Islands and South Georgia to Tristan da Cunha and St. Helena, continued this legacy with wildlife, naval, and historical designs that unite the themes of isolation, perseverance, and maritime identity. Even remote Pacific and subantarctic islands like Niue, Cook Islands, and Pitcairn participate in the global polar coin tradition, issuing silver proofs depicting explorers, ships, and celestial skies. Collectors favor these for their artistry and limited production. Proof coins often struck in mintages under 5,000, each reflecting the purity of both ice and metal. Environmental and heritage layer. In the 21st century, the focus of polar coinage shifted once more from exploration to preservation. Climate change, conservation, and indigenous heritage became the new frontiers of design. Modern issues from Canada, Greenland, Norway, and Antarctic programs celebrate Arctic wildlife, polar bears, penguins, whales, and seabirds, alongside themes of environmental stewardship. Royal Canadian Mint series showcase the Aurora Borealis in colorized silver, while the British Antarctic Territory issues annual Protect the Poles proofs, combining scientific symbolism with numismatic art. Co-series from TAAF Australia and New Zealand blend environmental messages with innovative minting, colored enamel ice, translucent polymer inserts, and micro-engraved latitude coordinates that bring geography to life. Collectors see these coins not just as art, but as advocacy. Tiny, precious testaments to a planet worth protecting. Subcategories and global territories. Beyond the poles lie the world's dependent and overseas territories. From St. Pierre and Miquelon to New Caledonia, Guadeloupe, French Polynesia, Gibraltar, and Bermuda, each with its own coinage heritage. French colonies used the franc CFA and piastre systems. British territories issued sterling-based coinage marked by tropical or maritime motifs. And remote outposts like South Georgia, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha continue to issue stunning low-mintage proofs under the name of Queen Elizabeth II and now King Charles III. Together, these coins form the periphery of empire, a constellation of designs scattered across oceans, each bound by history and devotion to craft. Regional wrap. From Arctic fjords to Antarctic glaciers, from Svalbard's auroras to the South Pole's silence, coins of the polar regions and world territories capture humanity's farthest reach. They commemorate exploration, science, endurance, and the fragile beauty of the planet itself. They bridge two hemispheres, north and south, in a single shared legacy of wonder. Collectors trace four principal epochs: exploration and colonial, scientific and sovereign, modern commemorative, and environmental and heritage. A continuum that begins with discovery and ends with preservation. Each coin glows like a beacon in the cold, a frozen story forged in silver, nickel, and light. This is not merely coinage, it is humanity's signature at the edge of existence. Collector's Quick Guide. To assemble a meaningful Polar and Territories collection, remember the 4 DreamTrophy foundations. Period. Provenance. Preservation. Purpose. Key references include Standard Catalogue of World Coins, Kraus. Coinage of the British Overseas Territories by Alan Linecar. Antarctic and Polar Commemoratives by Peter M. Lewis. TAAF, Terres Australes et Antarctiques Françaises Numismatic Guide. Seek. Early Colonial Arctic Issues, Greenland, Svalbard, Newfoundland. British Antarctic Territory Silver Crowns, 1970s present. Australian and New Zealand Antarctic Commemoratives. TAAF Silver and Gold Wildlife Series. Royal Canadian Mint Arctic and Northern Lights coins. Environmental and low mintage proofs under 5,000 pieces. Expedition medals and tokens from research bases. Prioritize pristine proofs, deep cameo finishes, and clear inscriptions of latitude or wildlife. Details that define true polar artistry. Above all, collect with awe, for these are not just coins but chronicles of courage, minted at the limits of the world, where ice meets eternity. No detail is too small. No country is left behind. No story goes untold. DreamTrophy, proof of civilization. Through stamps, coins, and currency, we preserve memory one artifact at a time. Time are being brought back into the public eye through crystal-clear visuals, detailed analysis, and expert insight. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy collecting! Who this channel is for. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a student of history, a global traveler, or someone curious about the lost empires of the world, this archive is built. DreamTrophy speaks to those who understand that stamps are more than postage, coins are more than metal, and currency notes are more than transactions. These are visual documents of civilization, etched in ink and cast in metal. What sets DreamTrophy apart? Experience. Over 50 years in the field with credentials in appraisal, valuation, preservation, and cataloging. Authenticity. Every item has been vetted, curated, and in many cases preserved by hand. Completeness. No region, no country, no issuing authority is left out. A rarity. You'll discover items here that have never before been captured in 8K video, and in some cases have never appeared on the internet at all. A global journey through money and meaning. From the engraved colonial stamps of Great Britain, to the hand-struck silver coins of ancient Africa, to the wartime banknotes of South America, each item is a time capsule, a living witness to sovereignty, rebellion, innovation, and collapse. These are the receipts of empire, the inked proclamations of new republics, and the quiet evidence of identity, carried in the pockets of millions, now held in the hands of one. You won't miss a thing. We're documenting every country in the world, no exceptions. As stated earlier, you will not miss a single stamp, coin, or currency from any issuing authority in the world. Through clear images, full-length videos, expert commentary, and professional descriptions, DreamTrophy guarantees comprehensive global coverage, all presented in the most visually immersive and historically respectful way possible. How to support and join the mission. To become part of this legacy, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a release. Like, comment, and share to help grow a global community of collectors and learners. Donate through the link in the description if you wish to support the preservation of rare historical material. Visit our website at dreamtrophy.net to explore featured collections or make a purchase. This is not just about collecting. This is about uncovering the visual proof of civilization, the systems we built, the borders we fought for, and the revolutions that redefined us. This is about documenting human memory, one artifact at a time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. Remember, for a limited time, subscribers who turn on notifications can receive a 10% discount on all items purchased through our channel. Click the link below to explore our collection and take advantage of this exclusive offer. DreamTrophy.net. If you'd like to support the channel and help us create more videos like this, consider donating. Every bit helps and is truly appreciated. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on our latest uploads.